the 2K Sports pregame show, sponsored by Kia.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here. Welcome, everybody. We have the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great, in some minds, Kenny the Jet.
You nervous?
Oh, no, man.
Me either. Silly, right? You don't even get to play.
You get your shot.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, at least I get to kick it with you right now, man.
Hey, yeah, man. You my road dog.
Always.
The week is starting off right. Monday night, and 2K Sports presents the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. The Detroit Pistons come into this one after the win against the Celtics. And that was a serious blowout. Not too many people can claim that they saw that coming.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
I mean, you can say it. The defense was awful. They took away nothing and got scored on relentless.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, we all know that Prez has been doing everything he can to stay in peak condition this season. The recent step he's taken is doing extra workouts and conditioning drills with team athletic trainer Xavier Cross. The work with Cross has caused Prez to rethink his entire approach, from workouts to how he rests and how he prepares for games. He has been dedicated in making sure he's in the best shape he can be in. Guys?
David, thank you for that. Smart move to hire a trainer.
And a lot of players over the years have had their personal guy when it comes to conditioning. Nice to see Prez waste no time in making that same move.
Two sharp-shooting teams here tonight, Chris. Long-range shooting on display for sure.
I tell you what, Kevin, it's never more critical than it is today. I mean, the old school folks might not like it, but the three-point barrages that come into games, preeminent weapon.
Good point. So Detroit will get the first possession. And the Houston Rockets starting five. Fresh, he's in at point guard. Clint Capella is out there with Ryan Anderson. Then it's Robert Covington, and it's Young in at the two. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
And they get the first bucket.
It's a nice beginning to this one for them. You always want to try to seize the moment early on in the game.
The Pistons shooting their first free throw of the night here.
Now, some teams just always happen to have one position that is filled by a great player. For the Rockets, that position is center.
Here's Fresh. And Young now, top of the key. That one, no good. And it's Detroit the other way. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Rockets team.
An interconference matchup. Last season, they went 2-0 against this club.
The shot's good.
And the versatility of Caldwell Pope, not just the score from outside, but also a threat to shoot the ball close to the hoop as well.
Here's Fresh, guarded by Jackson. Here's Fresh. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Pistons with a quick start to this game. Caldwell Pope dishes to Jackson. To the inside. Here's Drummond. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Drummond is just a behemoth, an absolutely devastating center who overpowers defenders constantly.
Pass to Fresh. Shot to stop the run. Another miss by Houston.
The defense got super lucky there because he does not miss many of those.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Drummond's got his second basket. Rockets have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Now the feed to Capella. Here's Covington. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Fresh. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point, 2-point shot attempt averages for the Pistons.
and the long-range game a staple for them offensively. It's clear they embrace the value of that extra point, and spacing the floor, something they look to do every time they're on the court.
The Pistons have gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Down low. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. What you like about the O.J. tandem is that they both seem to feed off each other when they get it going. They become unstoppable.
It's like when one makes a shot, the other's eyes light up, and they say, oh, it's go time. Makes for the snowball effect in terms of scoring between the two.
With all the talk about the O.J. duo, and rightfully so, what gets lost in the chatter is the growing bond between Levens and Prez on this team.
And Levens doesn't play a lot, but he is a big presence on the end of that bench as he keeps guys motivated and their heads in the game. Not a surprise to see those two be so close.
Traps in the tray. Jackson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
And you'll ask defenders or would-be defenders of Drummond, he can just punish you physically.
If he drops a shoulder into you, it's like getting hit by a runaway freight train. Because of how strong he is under the rim, he can just shrug off defenders who don't have a strong base. If he gets it on the low block, it's a dunk pretty much every time.
Here's Fresh. What a tremendous game he played against Utah.
Everything he is throwing up has been off. He needs to find his groove, and soon.
And shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
There's the screen. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And the dunk by Capella.
Oh, wow, I just love the commitment by Capella. Rolling to the rim hard, even just after setting that perfect screen.
And here are the Pistons. They're on a 14-2 run here. Morris outside. Here's the floater. It's rebounded by Houston. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
Deadly from behind the three-point line in that game, and it really gave them the ability, I felt, to stretch that defense out.
Oh, and even once the defense extended, the shooters were already in such a rhythm, there was no way to slow them down.
Detroit leading by 9. Outside Jackson. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Jackson's got 5 now.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Well, they came to play today. It's still too early, but they really have put their foot down on their opponent so far.
Here's Fresh. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Right block shot. A shot. No good.
His head doesn't look in the game right now. He can't seem to connect on any shot he takes out there.
It's Jackson with the drive. The thing about Reggie Jackson is he plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Reggie definitely has an edge to his game and plays like somebody stepped on his new shoes or scratched his car. Players with that mentality, though, I love them. They are rare, but some of the grittiest players in the game. He has fit in perfectly in the D because of that edge.
And the Rockets making a change here. Nene's checked in. Perhaps the most memorable team, Chris, you played on, the Kings of the early 2000s. We see a lot of teams now that have that same up-tempo style with great passing. Is this the way basketball is meant to be played?
You know, I think so. I think, you have 5 players on the court, and unlike other sports, you have to play offense and defense on this team. And so to keep guys motivated, to keep guys engaged, you want guys that want to touch the ball and score. There could be guys that can be just decoys out there, but they're still touching the ball, being part of the offense. And there's no worse feeling than to come down for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions and not touch the ball. And as a fan, for me, it's nothing worse than watching a team come down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions and the guy try to go one-on-one and he really can't score. And you're looking at the coach like, get this guy off the floor. floor. So team basketball is great. Why? Because you get more open looks, better shot selection. You get different guys in different positions. And I think most importantly, you don't think about this, you get more highlights because it makes the defense move from side to side. It makes the defense more engaged and pay attention. And therefore, when they slip up, it's that much more special with the play. And you can only do that mostly with 5 players that move the ball. So, yeah, team ball is definitely the best player. But even on the best teams, you need a guy that can go get you some buckets.
Like that. Here's Jackson after the made shot from Fresh. Outside Jackson. Here's the screen. Morris right side. Off the screen. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 3 assists tonight.
And even when the D is all up and in on Morris, he nails the shot. Great job at keeping his eyes on the basket. Now, you knew when you heard that Stan Van Gundy was coming to Detroit that they would be built around protecting their basket. This team has continued to focus on tough defense to win games. They have the talent and the effort to continue to improve.
So Detroit. And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. John Lure's out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Ray McCallum. Then there's Andre Drummond. And it's Rose in at the point. Pistons leading by 8. And if you aren't playing defense on this Piston team, then you will not see the court. It's just that plain and that simple.
You're exactly right. It's a saying that says the bench is a coach's best friend. What better incentive than to sit that guy on the bench for being lazy on defense? And good team defense starts at the top down. Coach Van Gundy has been preaching it, and the leaders on the team have brought it in. They do a great job of rebounding to close out possessions. Pistons also contest every shot they can get to, even on the perimeter.
And it's the Rockets with the ball, following the three-point attempt by Derrick Rose. They grab their own miss. And it's Capella missing.
Excellent D to force that miss there. That took real courage to risk being on a poster, being he's one of the best dunkers in the game.
Over to the left wing. Morris, left side. Out to the right wing. Clock at 6. Shoots a 3. Rose can't get that one to fall.
He's still trying to find a shot out there, but so far he hasn't hit anything from the field.
And there's Morris. That's good on the assist by Rose. And the Pistons lead by 10.
When Morris gets it down in the paint, he's deadly, using his big arms to get these shots up and in.
Here's Fresh. He's a guy we see deliver on a nightly basis, averaging about 24.5 points a game. Pistons leading by 10. McCallum, the pass to Morris. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Can't hit the free throw line jump.
Even though he's struggling with the shot, it hasn't stopped his team from getting in front and maintaining this lead.
Here's Fresh. Another miss by Houston.
Now, this would be a totally different ballgame if his shot was on target like it usually is.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Reggie Jackson's checked in for Detroit. Robert Covington's checked in for the Rockets. Here's Fresh. Feeds it to Capella. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Anderson outside. Clock at 6. For 3, Covington. Rebound, Andre Drummond. Detroit's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Shoots it. Jackson misses.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Oh, no, you're right. It's selfish on his part to attempt that. Should have passed it back out and tried to get a better look.
Here's Fresh. Inside. And the dunk by Capella.
It's hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
There's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. And Detroit has possession. Following the score by Houston. Morris kicks to Drummond. It's stolen by Capella. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Fresh. Rebound, Detroit. Luers got his third rebound on the night.
And after all the dust had settled in the Houston coaching search, the Rockets turned to Mike D'Antoni to take over the reins. Mike D inherits a team that underachieved and is in a bit of a transition phase.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Reggie Jackson went from a backup in OKC to signing a 5-year, $80 million contract in Detroit. And Stan Van Gundy said we liked his ability, but what we liked even more was he's a guy we thought would not change once he got the money. This is a guy who's really driven to be as good as he can be. Kevin, he has definitely made some strides.
Thanks, D.A. He wanted that starting role, and he's earned it. And for the Rockets hiring Mike D'Antoni, they wanted to add even more fuel to their explosive offense, it seems.
Well, usually you hire a coach that can shore up weakness in a roster. That's not the case for the Rockets and D'Antoni by any means. They felt going all in on offense was the right move. He's been able to connect here in the second half after hitting one in the first.
Pass to Capella. Now the dish to Covington. Launches a three, and it's Luer with the rebound. Luer's got his fourth rebound in this one. Here's McCallum. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Capella. Another miss by Houston.
They were right up in his grill. Really gave him no breathing room to release that one.
And Jackson gets it to go.
Oh, really? Jackson is deadly with the pull-up jumper. The D usually never sees him coming.
Fresh, the pass to Young. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. Let's go to the 2K leaderboard and see which teams have been the NBA's best in the rebounding department. The Pistons, number 1.
They are tenacious when it comes to attacking the backboard. Physical, smart, and determined. No surprise to see them at the top of the ranking.
Here's McCallum. He feeds it to Jackson. And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul.
I'm Frank.
That's his first
I
foul.
approve that steal.
Here's Smith. He's checked in for
Presidential
McCallum.
pardon.
And a switch here also for Houston. Nene, he's checked in for Anderson. Luer with it. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. And there's the pass to Morris. 6 on the shot clock. Smith kicks to Jackson. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Jackson's got 6 in the quarter.
He has 3 in the game and 2 in this quarter. He is really in a groove now.
Here's Fresh, guarded by Jackson. Here's Fresh. Houston needs to get a shot off. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. So for the Pistons, Aaron Baines, we've reached the end.
All right, come on, guys. Shake it off. Hey, if we let up on D even a little, it's enough to get their guy going. He cannot continue to cut inside so freely. I want us to gap him off the ball and keep him out of the middle. We can still win this game. Defense, fellas. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Palace at Auburn Hills. That's a look at the Renaissance Center, which dominates the skyline in downtown Detroit. And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. Reggie Jackson has been sensational.
You know, we talk so often about making your teammates better, and his ability to see the floor and then make those passes on time in that first half was the key.
Not a role he often gets to play. He has the talent to be a catalyst for this offense, getting a chance to show tonight.
So on the floor for Houston, Fresh in at point guard. Anderson is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Young, and it's Capella in at the 5, roaming the paint. Chris, we're seeing more and more big men be able to face up and knock down outside shots or even three-pointers. In your mind, who's the best shooting big man in the game?
Wow, I mean, that's a great question. You know, the best shooting big man in the game now, I say, still has to belong to Dirk Nowitzki. The jump shot does not get old, and even though we don't see Dirk do some of the more spectacular things he did above the rim and attacking the basket, that jump shot still is pretty, still is effective, and I still love it. So, to me, Dirk is still the best shooter in the game.
Great perspective. And so it's Houston with it. After the miss from Reggie Jackson, Fresh the pass to Anderson, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Anderson's got his first points in this one. Caldwell Pope outside. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. And Lure gets it to go.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Young. He's got 5. Passes to Fresh. There's a good screen. He lobs up the alley-oop pass.
Oh, they can't miss their third make in a row to begin the half.
Detroit leading by 4. Jackson kicks to Morris. Down low. Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
And Drummond is just a powerful presence. So aggressive in how he skies up for the slam.
Here's Fresh. He's got 6. Shot from 16. Rebounded by the Pistons. Led by as many as 14 points. They'll be playing host to Miami for the next game. And that's the third of 4 straight played at home. Drummond the screen. Caldwell Pope kicks to Jackson. Expanding his range. Rebounded by Covington. Rockets trailed by 6. Young with no one around. Offensive rebound. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
And not many guys want to get dirty with Capella on the boards. A very physical player who uses his tough demeanor to gobble up these rebounds.
And the Pistons making a change here. McCallum's checked in. The Rockets have not shot all that well from the free throw line, 6 of 11.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
Bucket is good, and that's now 10 points for Drummond.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Young outside. Pass to Fresh. Lets it go from deep. Kept alive by Houston. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. The Rockets with another miss.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down. Try to get some easy ones.
Drummond the screen. Here's McCallum. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And now it's an 8-point Piston lead.
Wow, Drummond is one of the top rebounders in the game. You have to put a body on him, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, just to prevent him from coming away with a second chance opportunity.
And the shot goes in. Fresh has got 8 points.
Now, I'm not saying that was the best play call, but that's certainly the desired result.
Back to Jackson. Banked in off the glass. And the Pistons lead by 8.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
Confidence is contagious. And when you see a guy like that finishing over a bigger man, it's got to motivate his teammates.
He kicks it to McCallum. Back to Jackson. Morris outside. Out left to the wing. Dishes to Drummond. 5 to shoot. Jackson. Down goes basket number 6 for him this game. He's taken 12 shots and made half of them.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
And they may have to address a number of things, including whether this is the right lineup. Now, he might not be known as Mr. October, but Reggie Jackson does share something else in common with his namesake. They both are clutch. Jackson has hit big shot after big shot in his career. He relishes the chance to make that deciding play.
And the Pistons with possession here. After the missed three from Fresh, Lure dishes to Drummond. Got a piece of it. Here's Fresh. He's got 8. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. When you watch the Rockets play, you can bet your house that they are going to see a lot of free throws.
Có gì? Không phải đây. Ok. Ok, baby.
And Chris, not only does this team get to the line a lot, but they also have a tendency to send their opponents there as well.
Well, they do get to the line at an alarming rate. This group has been in the top 3 of free throws attempted by teams for years now. They just know how to create contact. Detroit has had such a rich history with the Pistons, and there have been so many great players to put on the blue and red. Just think about it. Guys from the Bad Boys era like Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. Even further back with guys like Bob Lanier.
Now here's Drummond. Drummond with a screen on Young. He used that pick just right. Jackson's got 6 in the quarter.
Oh, you really like how determined Drummond is. Always willing to sacrifice his body to open up some space for guys.
And the Pistons, Chris, have always had great players, even in down years. And one name that pops into my mind was Grant Hill before he injured his ankle.
Oh, yeah, and you can talk about so many other players. Let's just talk about Dave Binger. Even think about other players like Bob Lanier, but it's hard to pick one player who encapsulates the franchise for Detroit as the titles have come from a strong starting 5. But I would say Isaiah Thomas is the greatest Piston ever, and it's hard to argue with that. He owns a lot of the team's records. He was the #1 pick for the Pistons. He got us 2 rings.
And a lot of legends say nowadays, Chris, players don't have that same animosity they once had toward other teams, other players. Why is that? And which camp did you fall in?
Well, I think the world is smaller now. I think when you look at the fact of the internet and the fact that you can now watch your friends that maybe you met at camp in 14 and 15, you can watch them now through the various apps. I think it allows you to stay closer, you know.
Rockets trail by 8. They've got John Lure. Jackson is out there with Rose. And it's Marcus Morris. And it's Drummond in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the group for Detroit right now. Here's Fresh. And he's good on the 3-ball. Fresh has got the 4th quarter started here with a bucket for the Rockets. Jackson kicks to Morris. There's the screen. He dishes it to Drummond. And the bucket counts. And he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
That's the supreme strength of Drummond really coming into play there. He is one of the biggest guys in the league who just gets shots to go over some intense deep.
Well, the one issue for Drummond he has had his whole career, Chris, is his free throw shooting.
Well, it's resulted in a fair amount of the Hacker Drummond moments that are going to continue in this case. But actually, they may not continue because we've seen some rule changes that may help him spend more time in the game because last year it limited how much he could play late in close games. It's odd since his release looks decent enough, but when he's on that line, it starts to fall apart.
And here's Covington from the arc. Buries it from 3-point range.
Their 3-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
Morris kicks to Jackson. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Fresh, the pass to Anderson, and the shot is good.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Drummond a screen. Jackson kicks to Drummond. And there's the feed to Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Coming in the post. Capella covering. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, I tell you what, when Drummond burrows his huge body down low, it's big trouble for the D. All you can do is foul him.
That one is off. And with the core that this Piston team has, they do a great job, Chris, of attacking the glass.
Well, Kevin, and conversely, the Pistons do a great job of limiting offensive boards while on defense. Every game they are getting a handful of extra chances because of their approach. The leader is Drummond, but there are a lot of other active bigs to fill out the roster.
And again, it's the Pistons missing. Rockets trail by 3. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Here's Fresh. And John Lure gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Well, he bailed him out with that one. The shot clock was low. You got to just play straight up D. That is not the time to take a foul.
Here's Fresh. To tie it up.
And Jackson using his trademark quickness to bother shooters, really getting up all over.
Over in the corner, Rose. That 3 off the mark. Rockets trailed by 3. Here's Fresh. Sweet little floater. Fresh has got 5 points now this quarter.
Just a good, solid, aggressive finish there on the break.
Terrific work in transition there. A nice finish to cap off that play.
Right side Jackson. It's tipped. Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th. Here's Fresh. Guarded by Jackson. Kicks to Covington to take the lead. Rebound, Detroit. They've led by as many as 14 points. Here's Morris. That one a little long.
His offense remains mostly absent, but he still has been a team player in helping get them the lead.
Here's Fresh. Back to Young. Puts up a 3. And Young just drilling the 3 there. Nice look.
And that's the shot that's dropping for Young when he is playing with confidence.
Pistons passing it around. Trying to get back on track. Offensive rebound. Drummond. And easy 2 points on the layup. Drummond's got it all tied up now for the Pistons.
Sometimes all you have to do is dump the ball down to Drummond and get out of the way. He'll take care of the rest, utilizing his massive frame so well.
Anderson the screen. On its way from Young for 2. And what a nice play there between Orange Juice to set up that score.
And Young got the finish, but the pass from Prez was just as important.
Pistons shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Morris a screen. Jackson kicks to Rose. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And the one thing about Rose is that, he can still get up for the big matchups. Whenever he faces another great point guard, he seems to play at his best level and loves to push himself and is willing to step up to the challenge. Let's just hope that he can eventually get back to that all-star caliber presence he had just a few years ago.
And with Rose and his injuries, it's not easy for him to put in a work day every day. But as you said, he can light it up on the big stage.
And that is why he's such a threat. Even with his numbers being somewhat diminished, Rose knows what it takes to be a successful player at the highest level. You only wish he wasn't robbed of so much of his game due to injuries.
Anderson, a screen on Jackson. Fresh, the pass to Anderson. For 3, Covington. Detroit with the rebound. Lure's got rebound number 8 now on the night.
Cold start to this game for him. A lot of his shots have been off.
And that one misses.
But when you watch Clint Capella play, you notice how smooth he moves for a center of his size. He gets off the floor easily to contest shots or grab boards. He can cover a lot of space in a short amount of time when acting as the help defender.
Detroit making a switch here. Caldwell Pope checked in. It's stolen by Capella. Here's Fresh. Anderson the screen. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect. And with Capella and his movement, you also like what it does for him in transition.
Well, don't forget, Capella has that deceptive length, too. You don't think he can take off from that far out and get a shot. But all of a sudden, boom, he's dunking right there on your dome or throwing your shot out to the 3rd row for a souvenir for some kid to take home.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Caldwell Pope from 16 feet away. He cans it.
When you have to do a ton to distract Caldwell Pope, just razor-sharp concentration when he's going up with the shot.
Young outside to the middle. Here's Fresh. And look at Prez there, just punishing the rim.
Oh, and you love the ferocity that Prez finished that playoff with. No layups for the big fella.
Outside Jackson. Feeds to Drummond. Stolen. A 3-ball. Offensive rebound. Capella. And it's good. Fought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
They don't look as energized on defense as compared to the first half. Definitely concerning for the coach.
And for a while, Chris, it seemed that the Rockets were going to be the team to beat in the West for a few years.
Well, yeah, most of us thought Harden and Howard seemed like a great fit on paper, but something just never clicked. The window for their success seemed to be the most wide open when they made it to the conference finals 2 years back. Now, with Howard out of town, they'll have to rebuild and find a new core to build around.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
And here's Young. Uncovered. Young hooking up Prez on that score. Terrific play by Orange Juice.
And those two have such great timing together. They make the game look simple.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup, and for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, during the timeout, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He was not happy with their play. He told them, we're getting outworked out there. Simple as that. We got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
Fresh, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And now a 12-point Rocket lead.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
Sometimes you get into a zone for a few games, and the basket seems as if it's wide as the ocean.
Houston's gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the 4th and been successful 3 times. To the middle, trying to find Capella, gets it to him. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Oh, man, and these shots are just the ones Capella makes on the regular. Just a highly intelligent offensive player.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
That one drops for him.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Isn't that when you use your other skills like your mindset? That's just a high basketball IQ play right there. He knew he was no match inside. So what did he do? He pulled his defender out farther from the hoop.
.141 left in the game. To the paint. And Morris throws it down.
Oh, and when there's an open man, Jackson finds him, making it look very easy.
They can burn some clock if they want to.
And get a little breather as well.
The dish to Covington. And Anderson has it in the corner. Houston moving it around. They double him with Drummond. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. Here's Jackson. Tries again, and Capella sends it back.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Rockets.
This has got to feel good. I mean, they never counted themselves out when they were down earlier, and they not only muscled their way back into the game, but wow, they're in a position, shockingly, to win this one easily.
And all about the will to win. You have to admire the perseverance, never doubting one another, having that trust in your coaches. And I really like what we've seen here tonight. Boy, did they earn it.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win. Just a quality win. And you look at the box score and some really good numbers for Fresh. And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
Here's Nene. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. And the Rockets lead by 17. Now here is Smith. And McCallum, he has it in the corner. Back to Smith. Got a piece of it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mona Eunice. Here's Caldwell Pope. Clock is at 3. Pass to McCallum. Smith up top. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. See you next time.
There he is.
Yo, Brett. Ernie and the guys in the studio want to talk to you.
All right, let's get it.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you so much, Kevin. And with this one in the books, we're ready to present our Jordan Player of the Game. Fresh.
Hey, this is Shaq. You did a great job of balancing your scoring with creating for your teammates. How are you looking to attack tonight?
Well, I just wanted to keep testing them whenever I had the ball. Make sure that the defense couldn't get comfortable with what we were doing and try to keep them guessing with both my shot and my passing. And, I guess it worked.
Yes, indeed. It really did work. You look good out there tonight. See you next time.
All right, thank you.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.
That's my slogan. Wanna know how I did it with no label, no A-list songs, and I told them.
So you really stepped it up defensively tonight. Has that been in focus for you?
Definitely, man, and most of it comes from Justice. I mean, he's a great motivator for me because he's a lockdown defender. He brings up everybody's game.
Can you speak on how important it is to be a two-way player?
Yo, my man was killing it today, wasn't he? Oh, man, he's about to be the best player both sides of the court, all right? I personally want to take responsibility for all his defensive efforts. I taught him everything he knows. Nah, I was just messing with you. All right, y'all go ahead and finish it up. See you later, Perez.
That's the most humble I've ever heard him been. All right, anyway, any more questions?
Shut down. That's not me and it shut down. When it shut down. Fashion Week and it shut down. Went to the show.
Oh, man. 1 second. Oh, man.
Nice place. Last step is diet. There's more out there.
3 boxes?
That's right. That's just a week's worth.
What are you trying to do to me, man?
I'm going to make you a star. I see you already got a head start.
Oh, yeah, that's my mom, man. She sends me food every week.
That's a smart lady. Yeah. Well, then you can just take this as a supplement. I make it myself. All fruits and vegetables, some protein.
Yeah?
Yeah. You sip through that.
This is what you sip through?
Yeah, don't use your eye. Use your mouth.
Okay. What's in there?
Stuff.
It's going to help my core?
It's going to help your core.
All right.